Here are the top 5 questions I receive from clients while selling probate real estate. This is Chris Zubrycki with RE/MAX Professionals. I'm the BJJ Broker and I've been fighting for my clients since 2001. Today we're going to be talking about probate real estate in Maricopa County, Arizona. Most people don't know what probate is until they're thrown into the proverbial probate ocean after the death of a family member or a friend. My knowledge has been gained being the personal representative for many of my family members and helping countless numbers of clients get through the probate process while selling real estate in Arizona. I was very overwhelmed with the death of my loved one, and on top of that, I had all these new responsibilities heaped on top of me. When someone contacts me about selling probate real estate, I always ask them, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer to that question is one bite at a time. Don't look at everything you need to do. Just break it up into small tasks, and sooner or later, that elephant is almost eaten. Let's first explain what probate is. Probate is the court-supervised process of handling a deceased person's estate, including appointing a personal representative, validating the will, paying estate debts and taxes, inventorying estate assets, and finally distributing the proceeds to the heirs according to the will. Here are the top 5 questions I receive from personal representatives I work with. Number 1, and this is going to be 1A and 1B. 1A is take notes and get organized. Make a note of the company, the person you talk to, their phone number, their extension, try to get an email address, and write the date and the time down. That way, if you have to call this company back and nobody has any idea what you're talking about, you can say, I talked to David Brady on this day, I talked to Jonathan Hill on this day, and that makes it a lot easier for you to retrace your steps. 1B is going to be police up all the keys, mailbox keys, and garage door openers for your property. If you can't find these or you don't know who has these, whether it be a neighbor or a tenant that's had them before, just hire a local locksmith to get the entire property rekeyed. Number 2, I have no idea about the estate's financial situation or who they need to pay bills to. Best answer would be to forward the mail from their house to your house. If you're out of state, I would recommend calling the U.S. Postal Service customer service line at 1-800-ASK-USPS. More often than not, they will ask you for a certified copy of the death certificate and a copy of the letters of personal representative that was issued to you by Maricopa County Superior Court. If you are in state, just go to a local branch. Number 3, what do I do with the contents of the home? What do I do with all the stuff inside? And there's several different avenues that you can go down. I would recommend, if you can come into town and you're out of state, blue roll of painter's tape, tag everything that you want to keep. And then we can put all those items in one bedroom and keep them away from everything else that's going to be removed from the property. If you have a small amount of items to ship back to you, post office, UPS, or FedEx works good. If you have a large amount of items, such as an entire bedroom set or half a house, I would recommend renting a shipping container or a pod, having those dropped at the property, and then hiring a licensed and bonded local moving company to pack everything up and pack the pod. If you have items that are too big to ship FedEx, UPS, or the post office and too small for a pod, I would recommend hiring a freight broker. And what a freight broker will do is, and what they did for my wife and I recently, we had 2 pieces of furniture that we needed shipped from Newburgh, New York to Phoenix, Arizona. So we contacted a freight broker, and the freight broker found a trucker that had a route going through those 2 cities, picked up and packed the items in Newburgh, dropped them off right at our property in Phoenix, Arizona with 0 damage. The remaining items in the home can be removed by a local personal property removal company. Number 4, how is the sales price for the property determined? There's 2 ways you can do this. You can get an appraisal done or a broker price opinion. An appraisal is a value report that's completed by a licensed appraiser, and that usually costs between $500 and $800 in this market. Broker price opinion is a report completed by a local real estate broker that specializes in valuing properties. I would consult with your attorney or your accountant that you're working with and see what they want you to get. If you're not using an attorney or an accountant, a broker price opinion should suffice. But just remember, any property in Maricopa County that's not severely fire damaged or structurally damaged is going to have a minimum value of around $200,000. Number 5, and this is the most difficult question I get. What do I do with an occupant, such as a relative or a neighbor that's moved into the property, or a holdover tenant on a month-to-month lease that will not leave? And the answer is, I would offer them cash to give you the keys to the home. And that might seem a little counterintuitive that you want to pay somebody that's living in the home and won't leave. But it can be a much more cost-effective route than hiring an attorney and going through the eviction process. We had a situation with a beneficiary that lived in the property, the estate property, that needed to move prior to us selling the property. So we had the estate go ahead and physically move that beneficiary out of the property and even go so far as to pay for a security deposit on their rental. The next situation would be someone on a month-to-month lease or someone outside of their lease agreement. About 2 years ago, we had a situation where the estate owned a rental property and the tenant had been on a month-to-month lease for years. And so what we did was we gave the tenant the opportunity to purchase the property at the market value. Unfortunately, they could not get approved for a loan. So the estate gave them a 30-day notice to vacate. And they needed a little bit more time, so they held off on the eviction. And then they gave them another 30-day notice to vacate. And then I received a call on a Sunday night from the personal representative that there was a major fire at the property. So the home had to be rebuilt, and that took a year to rebuild the property completely, put it back in the market, and get it sold. So if you have a holdover tenant on a month-to-month lease that won't leave, I would highly recommend hiring an attorney and starting that eviction process. I hope this information has been useful to you in your probate real estate journey. Start taking bites out of that elephant. If you have any questions, you can contact me directly. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for your time. My name's Chris Zubrycki. I'm with RE/MAX Professionals. I'm the BJJ Broker, and I've been fighting for my clients since 2001.